All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the second installment of It Seemed Like a Good Idea at the Time. Obviously, I'm Chris, and with me is Dave. And joining
Hi,
us,
and to clarify, this is the second installment. We were gonna watch
Santa Claus versus
Santa
the Devil.
Claus versus the Devil in some hot weird on weird action, but it just turned out to be racism and sadness.
Oh,
So
so much racism,
So much racism.
So much racism
so bad.
and
But
guns,
yeah,
surprisingly. So
for everybody but the Americans.
which
right.
is shocking. We want to welcome Danger Water back, and we're for the first time going to welcome D-Bag91, who is a loyal patron of the show. So
man.
today we are going to watch a Sherlock Holmes film from 1939, The Hounds of Baskervilles. D, seeing as you haven't actually seen at the time of recording the first installment of this, uh, you have no idea what you're in.
No. I'm adding more whiskey in preparation
D
because
is just getting drunk.
Yes, word of
I'm
advice. If you are an imbiber of poisons known as alcohol, they're not only recommended, they may be required.
Oh,
maybe not for this one though. Maybe not as bad. I'm just
I
trying to
don't
like
know.
flesh
It's
out.
from the late 30s.
Fair.
Like, we had just gotten out of the Depression. And I feel like watching this, having seen like more modern takes on this exact story, might put me into a Great Depression.
All right, let's just hope this isn't as racist as the last fucking video we watched.
I don't think
Dude, it's
I'm
from
gonna be
the late
hopefully optimistic.
1930s, and it takes place entirely in England. So it probably is.
Oh god.
I
But
really
we'll
don't think
find
it can
out.
be worse. It was the other one was pretty bad.
We're gonna find out.
Wish
All right,
us luck.
Dave, you want to
Hang
start
on,
this
I
bit?
accidentally stopped the recording.
Fucking amateur
It's okay,
hour
we
over
can
here.
marry them together.
Wow, the acting.
I don't kink shame.
Hell yeah.
Eat
I'm
it.
into it.
The audio quality is already so much better.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
I've got Shibani.
Hello there! Hello there, is something wrong?
Did you see that woman's face?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does she have a little twist screw on the back of her head she just twists to pull all the skin tight again?
Yo, you know what that reminded me of? Fucking Beetlejuice.
Yes!
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
My wife and I found him lying dead in the yew alley, face downward.
What did you do then?
I hurried across the moor to fetch the doctor, Dr. Mortimer. He was at dinner with Miss Stapleton and her brother.
He doesn't look like a fucking evil doctor.
Hello,
Mhm.
nurse.
He did it.
Very well, Barrowman. That's all.
100%.
Yes, sir.
Dr.
My man's
Mortimer,
got those fucking crazy
to
eyes.
what do you attribute the death of Sir Charles?
Heart failure, sir. I might add that for some time Sir Charles was in a highly nervous state. Worried. Something was preying on his mind.
And did he confide to you what was preying on his mind?
No, he was
Well-
fucking dead.
No.
Well, then what about those footprints, Mortimer? As though Sir Charles had been tiptoeing back towards the house. I examined them myself, and as a man of science,
So did I, Mr. Stapleton. More likely Sir Charles was running.
Running? Running from what?
If you please, gentlemen, one at a
The
time.
fucking
Why
doctor.
don't you tell the truth, all of you? Tell all you
Or his
know.
wife.
Silence, Mr. Franklin. You've already testified you were not there and know nothing whatever of this matter.
Nevertheless, I insist he was murdered. Murdered, I tell you.
That will do, sir, that will do.
Yo, pause it for a second.
There were no more.
$20 says that fucking old dude has some skin suits in his basement.
Which old dude? The one,
The
that
one on
sounds
the
Scottish?
left.
The one that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Murder.
100%. My man has some fucking skin suits in his basement.
He
Look
that
at Kitty.
fucking Wild Bill, or no, not Wild Bill.
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill from
Buffalo
Silence
Bill,
of the
yeah.
Lambs.
It puts
Mm-hmm.
It
lotion
puts
on
the
it.
lotion on the skin, or else it gets the hose again.
He goes, "Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me."
It puts the lotion in the basket.
Puts the lotion in the basket.
You're scaring your cat, Chris.
Yeah, I know.
Yo, he don't give a fuck right now.
No, he just got up and moved because you yelled.
What's the matter, Scout? Yeah, he don't give a fuck.
Oh, did you name your cat after Bruce Willis's daughter?
No.
Dude, I do want to say though, like as weird of a name as Scout is, like it's kind of a badass name for like a person.
Do you know where it comes from originally?
No
To Kill a
idea.
Mockingbird.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Also, there's a cat right there too.
You're crazy.
Cam.
Yeah.
That is Mittens.
David.
I am a crazy cat lady. I have a third one somewhere. My house is a fucking zoo.
Marks on the body of any kind, Dr. Mortimer?
None.
Then, as his physician, what would you say was the cause of Sir Charles's death?
Most emphatically a
He
heart failure,
totally
sir.
did it.
100%.
Such then, gentlemen, is the
See,
verdict
I
And
can't
of this
or
speak to
she
that
was in
because
love
I've
with
read
him.
all of the
Call it
Sherlock
what you
Holmes
like.
books.
Sir Charles was murdered. There's more than one person in this room knows I speak the truth.
That is the worst Scottish
Ebenezer
accent I've
Scrooge.
ever heard.
It is Ebenezer Scrooge.
100%.
That's why I said skin suits, guys.
I have been to 221 Baker Street. It was very fun. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm jealous.
So I would like to point out two very important things of note. First, the medical drama House
Mm-hmm.
is
Mhm.
a retelling of Sherlock Holmes, but
Mhm.
if he was a medical professional. The second
Great
thing
show.
is a point of evidence to that fact. He does, in fact, live at 221B Baker Street.
Mhm.
And I just found all of this out like 3 months ago because I never watched the show.
Oh, House is
Oh,
so
it's a
good.
great
House
show.
is good.
I don't like
Hugh
medical
Laurie
dramas.
is fantastic.
I only watch it because
Yeah,
Hugh Laurie's
that's
so
good.
good.
Yeah.
All right, this is back when Canada was still
I'm blessed if I know why on earth you want all these clippings.
British.
But
You realize Canada was a British province till like the 80s, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
they still recognize the
Really?
Queen too.
Yeah, they do.
this Baskerville fellow.
I've an idea, Watson, that young Sir Henry isn't destined for a very long existence in this world.
What?
My conjecture is that he'll be murdered.
Murdered?
Murder.
It'll be very interesting to
Murdered?
see if my deductions are accurate.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, while you were out, a gentleman called to see you and left this.
He asked you to give it to me?
Oh, no, sir. He just left it by mistake, I imagine.
Uh-huh. Dr. Mortimer?
He didn't leave his name, sir.
No, it's here on the stick, Mrs. Hudson.
Oh, is it? I didn't notice.
Do you know any Dr. Mortimer, Watson?
Huh? What did he want?
He didn't say, sir.
What do you make of it, Watson?
Why should I make anything of it? The fellow came to see you.
Ah, but what kind of a fellow? Let me hear you reconstruct him from his walking stick by our usual method of elementary observation.
Well, I should say that Dr. Mortimer is a successful man, well esteemed.
Good. Excellent.
I should say that he does a great deal of his visiting on foot, because the iron ferrule is worn down.
Perfectly sound.
Let's have a look at this inscription. From his friends of the CCH. CCH. I should say that's the something or other hunt.
Really, Watson, you've excelled yourself.
Does anything escape me?
Almost everything, my dear fellow.
Huh?
A present to a doctor, I'd
You're
say,
a
is more likely to
fucking
come from a
idiot.
hospital than a hunt. And when the letters CC are placed before the hospital, the name Charing Cross Hospital rather obviously presents itself.
Oh, you may be right.
Furthermore, I'd say that Dr. Mortimer had a small practice in the country and was the owner of a dog.
How can you tell that?
Quite simple. From the teeth marks. Look, you can see for yourself. A rather large dog, I'd say. And unless I'm mistaken, Dr. Mortimer will call on us again in a few moments.
Rubbish, Holmes. Rubbish. How the devil can you deduce that?
Well, as he left his stick, isn't it reasonable to presume that he'll come back and get it?
Dr. Mortimer, sir.
Hey, Watson.
Mr.
You're an
Holmes.
idiot.
Yes, come in, Dr. Mortimer.
I
took
have
the
to
liberty of
stand.
calling
Well,
upon
And
you.
left your stick.
Oh, so
Fucking
I think.
crazy eyes.
Thank you so much.
A presentation, I see.
Yes, sir, from Charing Cross Hospital.
I
This is
told
my
you.
friend, Dr.
You did
Mortimer.
That's
it.
totally the
course.
fuck you, Sherlock.
How do you do, sir?
Mr. Holmes, you're the one man in all England who can help me.
Well, won't you sit down?
Thank you. A friend of mine is in grave danger.
May I
No,
inquire
I'll
his name?
stand.
Sir Henry Baskerville, heir to the estate of Baskerville Hall. I'm in mortal fear Sir Henry's life will be snuffed out.
Why, what makes you think that?
I have information which leads me to believe that for centuries past, every Baskerville who's inherited the estates has met with a violent and sudden death.
But as I recall it, Sir Charles died from natural causes, heart failure.
Apparently. And that was the verdict of the coroner, in which I, as Sir Charles' physician, concurred. But there was one point which I kept back from the police, from everybody.
Yes?
About 50 yards from where Sir Charles fell dead were footprints.
A man's or a woman's?
Not
Mr. Holmes, they were the footprints of a gigantic hound.
A hound? Well, why didn't you report it?
Not a soul would have believed it.
Hellhound?
During the night it rained, and in the morning the marks were completely obliterated.
We can only
But
hope.
I saw them
Right?
as clearly as I see you.
Yeah, I bet
And
you could
then,
with your
a
fucking
few
eyes
days
open
ago,
that wide.
As one of the executors of the estate, I found this.
I mean, Coke bottle glasses.
This old
I
document.
was gonna say,
Legend of the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Let me read it to you, Mr. Holmes. It's quite
I'm
short.
afraid you're not
With my
smoking
bad
your
For
eyes.
you,
face.
I promise.
Yes, please, go on.
In the time of the Great Rebellion, about 1650, Baskerville Manor was held by Hugo of that name, a profane and godless man. One Michaelmas, this Hugo
Yeah,
stole down upon a
beautiful
neighboring
handwriting.
farm and carried
I
off the
know.
daughter of the house. He
Wish I
locked
could do
her
that.
in an upper chamber, and
Good
while
writing.
Hugo and his friends were carousing, as was
I mean,
their
I
nightly
can
custom,
on the computer.
I went like a
Such a cuddlesome little wench never existed before,
very
I
barely
swear.
legible
Cheeks
handwriting.
soft as velvet, a form so wondrously rounded. Tell us more. What happened then? Where was I? Form, you were saying. Oh, yes. No need to cry out, I told her. Hugo will not hurt
What
you.
is with that facial hair?
With that, I whisked her up on my saddle, covered her with my cloak, and we were off like the wind. You brought her here? To the manor. Where is she? Go fetch her, Hugo.
Easier said than done, eh, Hugo? How can he fetch her if she isn't here?
Oh, she isn't, eh? Come on, I'll show you.
Yeah, let me show off the woman I kidnapped.
Yeah.
She's really in here? May we come in, my sweet? These drunken
'Cause we do it
give
anyway.
Hugo the... There is no good.
Yeah, I hope you're not, naked. I'm just coming in with all of my puns.
Yeah.
Look at my record. What ails him? Hugo, what to do?
We here at Less Than Normal say always
She's gone,
consent.
the wench.
Always.
Don't stand there gaping.
Always
Go bring my
consent.
mare.
And my safe word's pineapple juice.
Safe words, foliage.
Yours is ficus.
No. It's
Mine
She
is-
from
spends too
Family
much
Guy.
time in ficus for that to be
Mine
a
is
safe word.
mine is
I do,
Constantinople.
I do.
What's wrong? I've never seen him in such a rage. Where's he gone? Let's follow him. Let's go, Roderick. Farewell. Come on, Matthew.
Let's go, Roderick. Oh, good show.
Hold the stirrup, you blockhead.
I'll
Give
give
my soul to
blockhead.
the devil for that
Yes.
wench.
Very clean.
Did you hear how he pledged his soul to the devil for that wench? Well, may he find her and wed her, then the devil will have his soul.
on and on they rode, until suddenly they came upon the body of the girl.
Dead.
Then, from just over a rise, they heard sounds so hideous that the blood froze in their veins. And looking up, they beheld...
A regular-sized
Bubby,
dog.
what are you doing?
Before we could get at him, Sir Hugo was
It
dead.
looks just like my dog.
His body literally torn to shreds. Such is the history of the hound that has cursed the Baskerville family ever since. Many having been unhappy in their deaths that have been sudden, violent, and mysterious. Well, Mr. Holmes?
Interesting. Very interesting.
What do you think?
I don't know.
But Sir Henry's arriving from Canada tomorrow. Please understand my dilemma, my responsibility. I was Sir Charles' best friend. My duty is to protect that boy. If I should take him down there to Baskerville Hall and anything happened to him...
What I'd suggest, Dr. Mortimer, is that when Sir Henry arrives, you bring him here.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Holmes. You don't know what a load you've taken off my mind. Good night, Dr. Watson.
Good night, sir.
You've left your stick again.
Oh, thank you.
By the by, Dr. Mortimer, you have a dog.
I have no dog.
Then how do you account for these marks? Evidently the teeth marks of a dog.
I used to have a dog, a small spaniel. But it died.
No, you didn't, you bug-eyed fuck.
Good night.
Good night.
Was that mean?
Why he lying? Did you say was that mean?
Why you
No.
always lying?
Well, Holmes, what do you make of it? Do you think there's anything in it? Good heavens, you're not going to start scratching on that infernal thing, are you?
It's not terrible.
That's your takeaway there? Not terrible.
I wouldn't call that scratching.
I thought he was getting ready to start playing Old Lang Syne.
I thought so too for a second.
Goodbye, Sir Henry. If you ever go back to Canada, be sure you sail with us. Thanks. You've all been wonderful. The very best of luck, sir. And the same to you. This way, Sir Henry. Ah, here you are, Sonny.
Thank you, sir.
And you?
Thank you, Sir Henry.
And you?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
sir.
He is the most attractive in this film so far.
It's too bad. It's all over.
All the other ones
He's
are
also the
old
only
dudes.
one who isn't like 300 years old or weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I happen to like weird guys.
Yeah.
I mean, as evidenced by your current choice of
Right,
significant other.
Is anyone going to touch that? Or?
Case
That's
is not
what-
obvious.
Them crispy lady bits.
Hey, I ordered original recipe, not extra crisp.
Damn it, I'll send him back.
Just when you and Betsy Ann were really getting to know each other. Oh, but we are going to see one another in London, aren't we, Sir Henry?
Oh, I should love to. But I have to go down to the country, unfortunately.
To your ancestral estate. How exciting. Perhaps, Betsy Ann, if you're very good, Sir Henry will
Betsy
ask us to
Ann?
visit him.
Of course, yes.
Is it just me, or does that woman look like she got attacked by a frying pan mugger right in the fucking face? The young one.
Because it's so flat, you mean?
Yeah, well, and then that pronounced brow ridge, it looks like her nose has been tucked into her skull.
Listen, her name's Betsy Ann. There's been some inbreeding, okay?
Oh.
Just call a spade a spade.
Well, if it looks like
Fair
a duck,
point is
it
fair.
fucking quacks like a duck.
It's a moose.
That's one fucked up fucking beaver you got there, bud.
Yo, that's a weird looking dog, bro. Man, that's not a dog, it's a duck. Animal goes, meow.
Staying at the Savoy. Don't forget.
I will.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Sir Henry?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not... The look on his face, oh my god, thank god she's gone.
He's like, God damn.
It's like looking at a pug.
Well, in his mind, he's like, I'm attractive, I'm well spoken, I am now a titled lord.
Right.
Why everybody trying to touch my dick?
All right, all I'm saying is raise your hands if you'd smash.
Yeah. 100%.
100% smash.
Look at that coat. It's got great
Right?
taste.
Yeah. The hair.
Okay, every time I see a coat like that, it makes me miss my wool pea coat.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Because it looked basically just like that.
All he's missing is the perfect jawline.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, it is a little soft, isn't it?
But...
You know, he could grow a beard and fix it like Rhett did.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Yeah, Rhett does not, ever need to have a reason to shave that thing.
Pretty sure his wife would cut his dick off if he did.
What is the obsession with cutting dicks off tonight?
She
Maybe
talked
we
to
shouldn't
Ballerina about
invite
it.
this much estrogen next time.
I think this is always a great idea.
Oh yeah.
I think we need some estrogen to balance it out.
Start our own show.
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Solid double D's.
I mean, if you guys are interested, we could set up a third day and I could just be a producer for it.
Your uncle was my best friend.
How do you do? Thank you for coming to meet me.
Not at all, my dear boy.
Oh, yes.
Did you have a pleasant trip?
Splendid, thank you.
I've taken rooms for you at the Northumberland Hotel, where I'm stopping.
Fine.
I assume you'll be staying in London for a few days.
Yes, I haven't seen it since I was a boy.
Oh.
Thank you, sir. Northumberland Hotel.
Because I'm from Canada and I seem to talk with the partial
personal
English
loss.
accent.
I was more than his doctor.
Oh,
He speaks like an American this time.
What are those words?
I was just gonna say, yo, can we talk about the fact my man hit that shit dead in the center while the cart or carriage was moving?
Also,
You mind,
this,
Sir Henry?
wait, this takes place
No,
in
not
the
at all.
1800s.
1939.
No, this was
No, that's
made
not
Why do
in
you think that last word is
1939.
printed in ink?
Takes place in the 1800s.
Oh, that's simple enough.
Did they
Yeah,
have
the
typewriters
doctors
back
From the
then?
London Times.
No.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, they did.
Did they?
They did.
Yeah, movable type was invented in the early 1700s.
Okay,
But where are they going to get that many fonts from?
true.
And glue it to paper to the point where it doesn't look like
I
it
mean,
was
there is
glued?
newspapers, so it could have been.
But that's
Cut
all
from
pretty much
newspaper.
the same font.
Well, and
No, it's different fonts. Oh, newspapers are. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but every publication had their own hand-carved type
Right.
at that point.
Right.
That's
I'm just
evident from the
saying.
topography. But the word moor is an unusual word. Your correspondent evidently couldn't find it in the newspaper. You'll admit, Dr. Mortimer, there's nothing supernatural about this.
Shut up for a second.
Supernatural? Tell me, Sir Henry, has anything else unusual happened to you today since your arrival in London?
Other than talking to
think
you
of
and almost
anything.
getting hit by a rock.
And
that woman desperately trying to
Yeah.
climb on my bone.
Yeah,
That
dude.
bitch ass Betsy Ann. That was pretty fucking weird.
Bitch ass. You talk about that pointy ass chin she had?
Mm-hmm.
What about the fact she looked like a Himalayan?
Yeah, right? Well, she wasn't as furry as a...
I mean, I don't know. I didn't take a peek under the dress.
No.
And I don't know about you, but the Sphinx is my least favorite breed of cat because cats should have hair.
They're hypoallergenic.
You know what
They
else is
look like a
hypoallergenic?
shaved ball sack.
They do.
What?
Mm-hmm.
They look
What
like a shaved ball sack.
Who looks like a shaved ball sack?
The
Sphinxes.
Sphinx.
Sphinx
Oh.
cats.
Why the fuck did you just say
The
it like
thing we're
that? A
talking about.
sphinx.
Sphinx. Sphinxer.
Sphincter.
No, I was gonna say not sphincter. Sphinx.
Sphincter.
Tighten up that sphincter.
Ain't nothing but booty cheeks.
It's that booty clap gang.
Already we're into the hashtag butt stuff, and it's
Yeah.
only 15 minutes in.
Clap that ass.
You should be listen. After watching the show, you should already know this is coming.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Don't mistake this
question.
tone for disappointment.
Do you think they were into butt stuff in the 1800s?
Oh, 100%.
Oh,
100%.
very much. This
Very
is
much
back
so.
when like women would go to the doctor just to have an orgasm because they were hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as bad as the fuck.
Oh, that's 100% going in.
That's
I
yeah.
was gonna
That's
say,
the
please
thing.
cut that out, but now you have to leave it in.
Mm-mm.
Unless you say that losing one of your boots is
Did
unusual.
you, hold on, did you just say pillow?
Yeah, I did.
Pillows.
Thank you.
Pillows.
But you said pillows.
There's no fucking E in that word. That's like the same people say milk.
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 Yeah. Or coupon. Guess what letter isn't in the word coupon? A fucking Q.
No, but COU technically makes a
Well, then how do you
sound.
pronounce cougar?
Cougar.
Kind of the same sound, isn't it? You wouldn't
Yeah,
call it
you don't go cougar.
cowger.
Different root languages.
English is
Coupon
weird.
comes from French. Cougar comes from not French.
What language is it from? Not French.
And here's Spain.
English with less than normal.
Hey, and I just want to say,
Get confusing as fuck.
punctuation is important. It changes.
Yes.
No, don't stop. No, don't stop.
Or fuck their children. Fuck their children. It's time to eat
I think this
people.
whole train of thought just derailed.
Time to eat. Well, what?
What?
People.
Huh?
What? Are we is this thing on?
And also, I would like to point out, because I don't think I've ever said this on the show, and we're talking about how weird the English language is, that just because two words mean the same thing does not mean they mean the same thing. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned, and sorry, Daddy, I've been naughty. Technically mean the same thing.
I haven't been to Catholic church in like a long ass time,
Oh, God.
and I haven't been to confession in decades. But I'm gonna do it just so I can go in and say, "Sorry,
Sorry,
Daddy,
Daddy,
I've been real naughty."
Please do and like record it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to hear the caller dude. Priest? They're not all priests, are they?
In the Catholic
Catholicism,
church, yeah.
Catholicism, they're all priests.
Mm-hmm. I will say too that the priest at the church that I grew up in is like an 80-year-old Irishman, so it would make it that much more fun.
Oh my
to do that.
God.
But if you do, don't
You
just
have
go, sorry, Daddy, I've been naughty. Go, sorry, Daddy, I've been naughty.
No, don't insult the man.
No.
Or 100% do.
I saw a meme that said the guy it was a little caption that said when I pray to God, dear Sky Daddy, God, I really wish you'd stop calling me that.
You lost one of your boots.
Yes, and brand new ones, too. Never had them on. I put them outside the door to be cleaned, and when I went to fetch them, there was only one there.
Brand
They were
new
brand new.
boots.
Why do they have
You
to be
put them on to
cleaned?
be cleaned?
They were tan ones, Dr. Watson. It prevents them from scratching to have them polished first. Now, will you please tell me what this is all about? Dr. Mortimer bringing me here to see you.
Watson and I
This
are
letter,
sharing a
it's
brain
about
cell.
you, Sir Henry. Your inheritance in Baskerville Hall. And Dr. Mortimer thinks that it might not be safe for you to go down there. Safe? On account of a hound. A wild, supernatural monster that has cursed you Baskervilles for the last 200 or 300 years.
Oh, that sounds grand. A family ghost, eh? Why didn't you tell me about this before, Dr. Mortimer?
Well, Mr. Holmes suggested... He's going to tell you about it now, Sir Henry. Take him back to the hotel, Dr. Mortimer. Show him that old document. Tell him everything, the whole business. I'll join you a little later.
Come on, we'll stroll back. You can tell me on the way.
This is not something to joke about, Sir Henry. Believe me.
See you presently. Good night.
But right now,
Okay, I just want to say, though, that the
Yeah.
acting and everything in this is actually so good.
It really is.
Yeah.
Like, this movie is so well done.
It really is. It really. I mean,
It's
I don't
old
know.
as
Really
fuck,
is.
but
Huh?
this movie is almost 100 years old, and this acting is better than
It's
fucking Sharknado.
82 years old.
I-
What about
A
Sharknado?
third grade dance recital is better than Sharknado.
Fuck around and find out.
Come on, Watson.
What's up now?
Follow
Where are
him.
we going?
Did you
You'll
say
see soon
what's
enough.
up?
We've not a moment to lose.
Yeah. He said, "What's up now?"
Yeah. Can
Now
you
you
hear
know.
the demon behind me?
No.
Oh. Making all sorts of noises. Dude, what is your cat looking at? He's like flat out staring at the corner.
Because he wants to climb up on top of the my shoe rack.
Yeah, how well did that work out for him last time?
He just destroyed everything on top.
Keep your eye on that handsome.
You don't like to be on top? What?
That's what I heard.
This legend dates back to about 1650.
Get your paper, evening
No, we're
paper.
done.
Evening paper, sir. Get your evening
We're
paper.
done.
Get your paper, evening paper. Evening paper, sir. Tells all the latest news that's going on, sir. Tells you all about it. Thank you, sir. Evening paper.
A dissolute, drunken fellow. And he
That's
was a
not with a hound. I thought he had to die with a hound.
Look out! Stop!
Whip up, cabby. Whip up, I say.
Very good, sir.
Who was it?
I don't know, but it's just as I expected.
And thus license.
Hadn't we better hurry on and warn them?
No. They're not in any danger now. Here's the number of that hansom. Find out from Scotland Yard who the cabby is, and if you can, fetch him along to the hotel.
I'll do my best.
I'm not crazy. I mean, I am. Hey, put your nose out of your sick
Now
asshole.
that Dr. Mortimer has told you everything,
I'm talking to
what have you
dogs,
decided?
guys.
To go there, of course. Good. That's what I thought you'd say.
And if Dr. Mortimer will only guarantee that this supernatural hound of his will really appear, I'd go all the readier.
Oh, don't say that, my boy.
Sounds like a bogey story they tell kids to frighten them at night, doesn't it, Mr. Holmes?
Yes, rather. It might interest you to know, however, that you were shadowed from my house.
Shadowed?
Yes, and probably have been ever since you arrived in London.
By whom?
I don't know. A man in a hansom. He must have seen me run after him and had the cabby dash off. Oh, by the by, did you ever discover your mislaid boot?
No. Hello?
Hello?
Well, the brown one's here, but one of the black ones is gone. I'll ring for the chambermaid. Perhaps she can explain.
Yes, do.
Puppy.
Now, why should anyone want to take an odd boot and then exchange a brand new one for an old one?
Can you explain it, Mr. Holmes?
No, I can't.
Come in.
Did you ring, sir?
Yes, about that boot of mine.
Oh, I haven't found it yet, sir. I've made inquiries all over the hotel.
Well, it's back, the
What
brown
were you
one, but
talking
now one of
about,
my
kid
black
actor?
ones is gone.
Oh, sir, that is odd.
Who else except yourself has access to this apartment?
Only the housekeeper, sir, and she wouldn't do a thing like that.
No, of course not.
I'm terribly sorry, sir. I'll do my best to find your boot.
All right, thanks.
Oh.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, Dr. Watson.
I've got him. Come on in, Clayton. Come this way. This is John Clayton, number 2704.
Yeah, what's up with
How
that
do you
dude's
do, Clayton?
head?
Won't you sit down?
I was just wondering the same thing.
He looks like a turtle.
It looks like somebody shrunk his head.
Mm-hmm.
My man out here looking like fucking Nosferatu with hair.
This motherfucker is like 2 8-year-olds in a coat.
It's like 2 8-year-olds in a
He
coat.
looks like what happened if someone mixed like a 60-year-old man with a bat.
So a vampire. He looks like a vampire.
That
I
fucking
mean, you're not
nose.
wrong, but so does Holmes.
I was gonna say he looks like Dracula.
Though,
His
to be
nose
fair,
looks
I
like
think
Dracula.
the actor who's playing Holmes right now also played Dracula at some point.
I was gonna look it up,
Mhm.
but it was gonna make my screen super bright, so I didn't.
Won't keep you long. It's good of you to come.
Thank you, sir.
I'll pause it for a second.
I am looking up the actor, though, now.
Are you?
His name is Basil Rathbone, which, I mean, what a name.
Dude, that should be the name of our band.
Basil Rathbone.
Basil Rathbone.
Yes.
He was also in a movie called Hillbillies in a Haunted House, which, fascinating.
And we
I now
please
want to watch
fucking
Hillbillies
watch
in a
that.
Haunted House.
Yeah, we'll add it to the list.
I found a cat.
Oh, another
Wanna
cat. Cat number
Fucking
3.
metal or what?
Hey, Garfield, how's it going?
I like Garfield. He's making.
Garfield is the show mascot because he has to make himself known every fucking show.
But he usually only shows his
Okay.
ass and then
So
goes
does
away.
Remy,
And he
though.
talks with a Swedish accent.
Yeah, there's a lot of different movies he's in.
Big Summer Blowout.
I am Hans, and this is France, and we are here to pump you up.
They're Austrian, not Swedish.
Dave doesn't
Now, Clayton. I wish you'd tell us who your fare was that watched a certain house on Baker Street this evening and later followed these two gentlemen.
Well, I'm glad that you know as much as I do, sir.
Well, not quite as much, I hope.
The gent said as how he was a detective, sir.
Oh, he did?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. How would you describe this gentleman, Clayton?
You look like your mom.
I suppose about 35 years of age, sir. Dressed like a toff. And a small black beard, sir.
And the color of his eyes?
And a tiny dick.
I see. When did he tell you that he was a detective?
At the station, sir. When he gave me the 2 guineas, what he'd promised me.
Mm-hmm. Did he tell you his name?
Yes, sir.
What did he say it was?
Sherlock Holmes, sir.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, it's the name what he gave me, sir. Sherlock Holmes.
Well, whoever it is at least has a sense of humor. Here, Clayton. Here's something for your trouble.
Thank you, sir. Thank you kindly, sir. Is there anything else I can tell you, sir?
Nothing at all, I think.
All right, sir. Good day, sir.
Good day.
Good day, gentlemen.
I said good day.
Well, Mr. Holmes, have we progressed, do you think?
Perhaps. Tell me, Sir Henry, when were you planning to go down to Dartmoor?
Immediately, tomorrow. I'm really awfully keen to see the old place.
You'll accompany us, Mr. Holmes.
I'd like to very much, Dr. Mortimer, but unfortunately I have some rather pressing business here in London.
Of course, and there's no need. Please don't think me ungrateful, Dr. Mortimer. I do appreciate your concern for me. But this story of the hound, it's nonsense. As for that silly letter and all the rest of it, I'm sure it can all quite easily be explained.
I quite agree with you, Sir Henry. But all the same, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask Dr. Watson to go down with you.
What, sir?
If you don't mind, Watson.
Gladly, if you care to come.
Of course. I'll be delighted.
Good.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Watson, and thank you, sir.
Then we'll stalk the hound together.
Now, don't take it too lightly, Sir Henry. Well, I must be going.
Mr. Holmes.
Yes, Dr. Mortimer.
About that person calling himself Sherlock Holmes.
Very interesting, Dr. Mortimer. You'll keep me posted, Watson. Write me daily reports.
To the smallest detail, Holmes.
Fine. I give him into your care, Sir Henry. Guard him well. Good night.
Guard me well. I like that. Oh, God. Here we are, Sir Henry, on famous Dartmoor. And what a history it has. You see those rocks over there? Actually, they're stone houses built by Neolithic man 50, 100,000 years ago.
You don't suppose the Baskervilles go back that far?
Stonehenge?
Yeah.
Stonehenge
And over
were
there,
destroyed.
beyond that hill, those dark spots. That's the great Grimpen Mire, as treacherous a morass as exists anywhere. Thousands of lives have been sucked down into its bottomless depths.
Cheerful little spot. Fascinating.
Oh, it is, Sir Henry. And mysterious. No wonder the people about here have such odd beliefs. Some will tell you that nothing ever really dies up on the moor. And after a time, one gets to believe it.
Really?
Do you believe that? Of course not. If I believed all the legends about this place, I wouldn't live here. I wouldn't have the courage. And now, if you look,
Same, bro.
Baskerville Hall, the home of your ancestors, Sir Henry.
Yo, these set pieces are amazing.
How are you, Barrowman?
Really?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Makes me want a castle real damn bad.
Barrowman, the butler, Sir Henry, and Mrs.
I mean,
Barrowman.
I've wanted a castle
Welcome, Sir
my
Henry.
whole life.
Welcome to Baskerville Hall. Thank you.
Yeah.
Barrowman was with your uncle most of his life, as was his father before him.
Well, I hope you'll be just as happy here with me.
Thank you, Sir Henry.
It's Madame Stretchy Face.
Suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Baskerville Hall.
And just as it's always been, Sir Henry, your uncle did some modernizing upstairs, but down here nothing has been added or taken away since Sir Hugo's time.
Well, I wouldn't say it's the most cheerful spot I've ever seen.
I beg your pardon, sir. What time do you wish dinner served, sir?
Early, I think. Dr. Mortimer has to drive home. Tell the coachman to have the carriage ready after dinner.
I'll tell him, sir.
She looks real
now,
angry.
I suppose you'd like to freshen up. There's hot water in your room, sir. I'll show the way.
Thank you.
Be careful, sir. These steps are a bit in need of repair.
Foreshadowing.
Right? Means he's gonna die on this journey.
I'm telling you, that fucking doctor did it. My man with
I don't
big
think
old
so.
fucking ostrich eyes.
Ostrich.
Tell me he does not look like one of the guys from Trailer Park Boys.
I've never watched it.
I've watched maybe one episode. Dude, we're only 25 minutes into this.
It's only midnight. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
1 a.m. for him. Isn't it?
No,
it's
we're on the same
midnight.
coast.
Oh, you're on the same. Okay.
He's just a couple states above me.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're
I think.
only like within 6 hours of each other, so.
Yeah.
Hey, so are Dave and I.
Who is this charming young man?
I didn't want to startle you. I thought you might be asleep. What is it? Come quickly. Someone's prowling around.
Sir Henry.
Sir Henry.
Sir Henry?
Sir Henry.
Love those shoes.
I was gonna say, my man, you're rocking
slippers?
loafers.
Yeah. I love a good house slipper.
Though I have some memory foam ones that I was just given. Oh, they're so nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so hard to find good slippers that fit my feet.
So hungry
And you have
right now.
massive feet.
I
Who
do
is
have
this that's
massive-
barefoot? With a candlestick.
In the library.
He looks oddly like the devil from the last one.
He really does.
Doesn't he?
Yes.
What are you doing, Barrowman?
Oh, nothing, sir. It was the window.
The window?
And a little bit like Christian
sir,
Bale
I've
in
just seen
that
that it was
one
fastened.
movie where he had to lose all the
What does
weight.
it matter whether it's fastened or not?
Oh, yeah.
The window
Remember
on
what
the second
movie it
floor.
was.
I go around every night seeing that they're fastened. Sir Charles always insisted upon it.
Well, that sounds reasonable enough.
Well, if it's properly fastened now, Barrowman, you can get back to bed.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Do you see anything?
Nothing. Nothing except a pinpointed light a long way off, over there by the crags.
Well, keep your eye on that point of light. And tell me what happens. Do you see anything now?
It's gone now. There it is again. And there it goes.
Just as I thought. Barrowman was signaling to someone. Come on, get some clothes. We'll find out.
Yeah, go out into the creepy land that neither of you are familiar with in the middle of the night.
Right.
There's probably demons and shit. You look super vaguely treasonous.
Right?
It's still there.
Super vaguely.
Vaguely.
Try not to lose sight of it.
That's not suspicious.
You can tell the actor holding a gun has never had to hold or use a gun before.
For real. Hey, Teen Wolf, you don't look too good.
I mean, if that's Michael J. Fox, I think he did a Benjamin Button thing before he started aging again.
I love Michael J. Fox.
Same.
Hey, Michael J. Fox, if you want to come on the show.
Yeah,
Join the party.
Talk about Back to the Future.
What about getting a little further away from that light? Up there.
Good idea.
Up there where the creepy man is. It's a massive rock.
Oh, he totally missed.
Stop! Are you mad? Whoever it is knows his way among these rocks. We don't.
Who the devil can it be? You were right about Barron.
Obvious who it is.
Yes, but what connection can there
The
possibly be
American
between
has
that horrible
100%
creature?
held and used the gun
Barrowman.
before.
You know, I've half a mind to fire the fellow in the morning, then notify the police and let them shadow him.
No, it's the last thing that Holmes would want us to do. Our job is to watch Barrowman. Watch him like a hawk. Come on, let's get back.
The hellhounds are coming.
Ooh. It's a really nice view of the top of your head, Danger.
What?
Really?
What do you think it is?
What does it sound like to you?
I was
can
gonna
do that
say,
too.
did that mean you noticed? But you can't tell.
If we were back in London,
Oh, you got
this
your
would seem
hair?
ridiculous.
No,
Let's get on.
I dyed it.
Oh, well, you've been half in the dark. How am I supposed to tell?
Look here, Doctor.
I
You
was in
don't
the light for
believe that
4
nonsense,
fucking hours.
Of course not. No more than you do.
Do you want us to give you guys like a moment?
I'll step outside.
Yeah, Dee and I can go hang out like for a minute.
Yeah.
If you guys need.
Oh, that's good.
He's like, no, please don't leave me.
Morning.
Morning, Sir Henry.
So that's our famous Moor, eh?
Yes, sir.
Oh yes, never look directly at the help.
Never.
Never.
We'll make you a ship.
Just speak in their general direction.
I thought in
Come
your
in.
general direction. Your mother was a hamster.
Oh, where's Sir Henry?
Your father smelled.
You're out, sir.
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries.
Where?
Across the moor.
Didn't I tell you to let me know immediately? If Sir Henry ever ventured out there alone?
I know, but I only just found out from my wife.
Immediately.
That guy fits the description of the guy, the cat.
Hello there.
Huh?
Said your mom.
Oh, forgive my shouting at you, Dr. Watson. My name's Stapleton. Live just across the moor.
But how did you know my name, sir?
Oh, from Dr. Mortimer, one of our neighbors.
Oh, yes, sir.
Hi, Sir Henry.
He's very well, thank you.
Oh,
I like
we were
his
a bit
little
worried he might
mustache.
decide not to come here. After the rumors that followed the sad death of Sir Charles, has Mr. Sherlock Holmes come to any conclusion yet?
I really can't say.
Oh, is he going to honor us with a visit?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Well, if I can be of any help, I do hope you'll call upon me. I know this place pretty well.
Thank you, but I don't think I shall be needing any help.
Wonderful place, this moor. From a scientist's point of view, there's nothing like it. Vast, barren, mysterious.
Hush.
You see those bright green spots over there?
Seems a little more fertile than the rest.
Fertile. That's the great Grimpen Moor. One false step means death. Only yesterday, one of the moor ponies wandered into it. Turned me sick with horror to see it struggling. And the sound of its screams...
What's that?
Oh, that. Well, the people round here say it's the hound.
Surely you don't believe such rot?
Bogs make queer noises. Or perhaps it's a bittern booming.
A bittern?
Yes, a very rare
Bittern
bird.
booming.
Practically extinct. If anything is extinct on the moor.
Stop! Stop!
was a voice. A woman's voice.
That was a voice.
Oh no, not a woman.
Thank heavens you heard me. Another few yards, you'd have been
It
into
was
that moor.
her!
Looks innocent, doesn't it? But only yesterday, a little moor pony got into it, and that was the end of it.
Well, thank you for shouting at me.
You're Sir Henry?
Yes.
Oh, I suppose I should say welcome, Sir Henry, but I'm afraid it wouldn't be sincere.
Oh, that's understandable. A stranger coming here and taking the place of someone you were fond of.
Oh, it's not that.
No? Tell me, what is it?
Sounds silly, I know, but
Oh, it's not that ridiculous hound legend.
I never used to believe those things till I came to live down here.
But you do now.
You're rich. You can go anywhere you want to. There are so many other places to live in the world. Interesting places.
Just now, I find this place very interesting.
Why, hello, Beryl.
Hello.
Oh, Dr.
Just now,
Watson,
I
my
find this
stepsister,
place
Miss
very
Stapleton.
interesting. It's old
How
timey
do you do?
for, hey, let
Hello,
me loosen
Doctor.
your bodice.
And this, I'm sure, must be...
Oh, Sir Henry, my brother.
How are you?
I was just telling Dr. Watson how delighted we are you decided to come here.
I'm here and to stay.
Oh, that's splendid. You know, it's been quite dull down here since the hall's been closed.
It's wide open now, especially to friends of my uncle. You must both come and dine with me.
You must come to us first.
Yes, what about tomorrow night? You and Dr. Watson. We'll invite the neighbors over to meet you. Of course, you already know Dr. Mortimer. The only other one's old Mr. Franklin.
Who's he?
Oh, wait till you meet him, Sir Henry. He'll bring suit against you, I warn you.
What on earth for?
You'll find something. Suing people is a passion with him.
I'll look forward to meeting him.
All right, tomorrow night, then.
Thank you. And thank you again for rescuing me.
Goodbye.
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 I tell you what, she a lot better looking than that Betty Ann wench.
Betsy. Yes,
Betsy Ann.
Betsy Ann.
Betsy Ann.
Whatever the fuck her name was.
I will be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting around like, yo, I need food.
And were it not a personal insult to Sir Henry, I would never have come here this evening.
Oh, but why, Mr. Franklin?
As a stickler for convention, I'm not in the habit of breaking bread with my host on the eve of prosecuting him.
Great heavens, what crime have I committed now?
A most gruesome one, Mr. Stapleton. That of body snatching.
What?
You're a body snatcher, sir. A ghoul, a despoiler of graves.
Oh, come, Mr. Franklin. That's a very serious charge.
Oh, Beryl, refill Mr. Franklin's glass, will you?
Thank you, my dear.
But are they brother, sister? I missed it.
That's his stepsister.
Okay.
And an excellent vintage it is, too.
Stepsister.
But if you're implying...
Stepsister, do you say?
What are you doing, step bro?
that I'm tipsy, sir.
Oh, of course he's not.
Tell us more, Mr. Franklin. Whose body has Mr. Stapleton been snatching?
According to my evidence, sir, Mr. Stapleton was seen digging among the old stone huts on the moor and removed from there a skull.
Oh, that?
A most interesting relic, Sir Henry, of Neolithic man. I'll show it to you after dinner. 50,000 years old if it's a day.
Nonetheless, sir, you removed it from the grave without the consent of the next of kin. And according to British law, that constitutes body snatching. Deny that if you can.
But what good will it do you to prosecute Mr. Stapleton?
None, sir. I have no interest in the matter. I act entirely from a sense of public duty. If you care to drop by my house someday and take a tipple of wine with me, I'd be glad to tell you a thing or two about everybody here. About him prowling the Grimpen Mire at nights and why he takes her with him.
Oh, there's no secret about us. As you know, I dabble a bit in the occult. Mrs. Mortimer has very strong mediumistic qualities. She finds the old caves on the moor particularly conducive to psychic phenomena.
Very interesting.
Have you ever tried to communicate with my uncle since his death?
Oh, yes, on several occasions, but with no success. But if my wife would consent to a seance tonight, while you, Sir Henry, are present, we might...
No, James, not tonight. Please.
Perhaps some other time. Shall we have coffee in the drawing room? Why, of course, Mrs. Mortimer.
I could persuade my wife.
Don't you think?
Yes, the mist.
Well, if you and Dr. Watson would care to see my little collection.
Oh, yes, the skull.
Yes, we're in here.
I'd like you very much.
Yes. All right, let me go grab a snack. Do that 2 seconds.
Quite a museum.
Oh, a very modest little collection. But this one really is quite a treasure. You'll observe its unusual cranial index.
Gentlemen, My wife has consented. She's agreed to a seance.
Splendid.
Oh, fine. Please come at once. Now then, if you'll all get chairs and arrange yourselves naturally, comfortably here by the fire.
As Shakespeare says, you can call spirits from the vasty deep, but will they answer?
They'll not answer scoffers or skeptics. If that's your attitude, Mr. Franklin, perhaps you wouldn't mind leaving us.
Oh, I'm sure Mr. Franklin didn't mean to doubt.
Of course I don't. And I ask you to keep a civil tongue in your head, Dr. Mortimer. Ordering me out from under the roof of my host is grounds for a very nasty little lawsuit.
Oh, come now, Mr. Franklin. Sit down by me.
Now, tonight we may communicate with Sir Charles. Find out what he feared so greatly. What he was running away from. Now, Jennifer, you sit here, please. Sir Henry, here. Or would you please put out those lights?
Certainly.
Stapleton, that light, please. Dr. Watson. Now, if you all keep quiet, sit quite naturally.
Sir Henry, your hand, please.
You look so uncomfortable.
Oh, God, yeah.
Sir Charles, can you speak to us? Let us know if you're
Yeah, I
present.
should have grabbed just an entire
There are
sleeve
things
of
that
Ritz
only you
crackers.
can explain. Speak to us, Sir Charles, if you're here. There are things that only you can tell us. Sir Charles, can you speak to us? Let us know if you're present. There are things that only you can tell us. Speak to us, Sir Charles, if you're here. There are things that only you can explain.
Her record's skipping.
That sound. I've heard it before.
It's nothing. Nothing but the wind.
Or a bittern. I was telling Dr. Watson only yesterday about it.
Sir Charles?
Oh, shit.
What happened that night? What was it you feared? Tell us, Sir Charles, of all the weird, terrible things that have happened on the moor.
Listen. There it is again. Oh, I can't stand it. Will somebody put on the lights, please?
I tell you, it's nothing. Nothing but the wind.
Mr. Franklin, what did you think it was?
The Hound, of course. The Hound of the Baskervilles. Any fool would know that.
James, get my cape. Take me home.
There you are, my dear.
I want a cape so bad.
Dr. Watson, can I give you and Sir Henry a lift?
No, thank you. We have our own carriage.
Those crackers good?
Very.
You're trembling.
That wasn't the wind we heard. I've heard that sound before, often. That's what I tried to tell you yesterday on the moor. That's why I wish you hadn't come here.
But sounds can't hurt you. It doesn't matter what they are or where they come from.
You don't know.
Oh, you've got to get all that nonsense out of your head, Beryl.
I wish I could.
You're going to. I'm going to make it my business to see that you do. You've been alone too much. There's nothing to do down here. That's the trouble. I'm going to change all that, if you let me. We'll go fishing together, riding. You like riding?
Yes, I do.
Good. We'll start tomorrow, shall we?
Dick.
Yes, thanks.
She really was.
All right.
What?
What?
What did you just say?
I said what I said.
No, I actually didn't hear it.
Oh, I said riding that dick.
That's what I thought I heard, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, you don't know me that well just yet. That is 100%. You can just expect that what you thought you heard is what you actually heard.
I can vouch.
You know what?
100%
Fair enough.
I didn't think
Because when Chris first met me, there was a lot of. I'm sorry, what?
There's still a lot of that.
There's still, yeah. That hasn't left.
Because I hear what comes out of Dave's mouth. Quite frankly, I'm appalled.
And then you giggle.
I do see the fear in your eyes some days more than others, for sure.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Hey, look, all I'm gonna say is I'm the type of personality that people either love or hate.
Or love to hate.
Or love to hate.
Fair.
Dave is 100% Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay.
You're not wrong.
But in my defense, I'm always entertaining.
That is super valid. That's a great point.
How hungry do you have to be to just sit here and eat crackers dry?
I do that all
Get
the
a
time.
can of aerosol cheese.
Because I'm classy, Dave. I'd actually get sliced cheese.
Peanut butter is also really good on Ritz crackers.
I am allergic to nuts, so we're not going to do that.
Peanut butter is
Not me trying to
related
accidentally
green
kill you during the
green
show.
It's a legume. I actually, but I am very much.
Oh.
Your audio cut out, so I didn't hear it. But I am assuming very much allergic to nuts is what you said.
I'll let you field that one if you feel it's appropriate for a joke, Chris.
Yeah. I heard it after I said it.
No.
Are you allergic
Moving
to
on.
dragon nuts?
Am I allergic to what?
Dragon nuts. Dragon cheese nuts all over you.
Get out.
To the two viewers who are about to leave, please come back. It's not like this all the time.
Shut up!
Right over for you in the morning.
Are you coming, Sir Henry?
Right, Doctor.
Today, I said in the
Are you
video.
coming, Sir Henry? Not yet. Give me 5 more minutes.
No, but my heart's racing.
I'm like legit crying. I don't know why.
Good night.
Oh no.
Good night.
Also, of all of the time for you to not be smoking your pipe, you choose tonight.
The filter's fucked up. I have to fix it.
I stand by my statement there.
Hello.
Hello, Beryl. Well, where shall we go today?
There's one place we haven't been. High Tor.
Fine.
That's where all the old ruins are. You know, Jack says that they're over 50,000 years old.
That sounds interesting.
And you can still see the remains of their stone huts.
All right, good.
The way he said that was so not genuine.
Yeah, he's like, oh, women, yes.
Those flattish stones over
interesting.
there, they're graves.
yes.
Yes.
Oh, and those huge ones, monoliths, the remains of their temples.
Doesn't anybody know who they were or what they looked like?
Jack has some theory about them. But anyway, they must have been very primitive, living on roots and dressing in skins.
But still laughing and dreaming, just as we do. I wonder how many times some young savage brought his bride into this very hut. Said, take your hat off, darling, this is home.
You know, this is probably where she cooked his first meal for him.
What a yell he must have let out when she burnt it up.
We found the one
Wow.
racist part.
And now they're quite forgotten.
And then a little bit of a sexist part.
Just
right
as we
after.
will be, too, one day.
The 1-2 punch, you know?
Do you suppose when a man met a girl that he liked, he had to wait a respectably long time before he dared tell her? Or things like that, sudden, natural?
I'd like to think that things were like that.
Beryl, that's the way they are with me.
Oh. Oh, but we've only known each other such a little while.
Here, you see, convention, custom. We can't even be ourselves when we want to be. Why is that?
You know, I used to come down here quite often and explore these old caves when Jack and I first came to live here. I didn't have the fear of the moor then.
And you've none now, that's all gone.
Oh. When I'm with you, it's gone. I seem to forget it, laughing and talking. But when I'm alone, it all comes back to me. And at night, I still wake up trembling, as if in my sleep I could hear those awful noises. Then it gets bad as ever, and I think of you, and I wish you weren't here.
Instead of thinking of him and wishing he wasn't there, just invite him to come be in bed with you, and then you won't be afraid.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you two can get to snuggles naked.
Because
Those are
that way
some
you
good
get to
snuggles.
make
Yeah.
that way you get to make 196 degrees.
Start the video.
I think that's a MASH reference.
Oh, don't say that.
Well, I wish you were in London or in Canada.
But even if I wanted to go back to London or Canada, I couldn't.
Why not?
You know why.
Betsy
You must
Ann,
know
that's
why.
why.
You know why.
I can't go anywhere now, unless you come with me.
Yeah.
Get it.
What are you doing? Get in there.
All right, now use the hat to prop up her ass and give it to her.
Would you mind pausing for a minute? I'm afraid I've lost my way.
Oh, hello, Doctor. Sir Henry and I were
Watson is the biggest cock block on the planet.
We were getting engaged.
Engaged? Splendid. May I congratulate you both?
Thank you.
That's how that happens?
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm engaged to a lot of guys.
Right?
Who is that?
Damn.
Seems that we didn't pick a very
David,
secluded
no.
spot.
What do you want?
Just crossing the moor, sir. Just crossing the moor. I'd be peddling my wares, sir. I must have something here. Would interest you, sir? How about a nice mouth organ, sir?
No, thank
Not
you.
after your crusty fucking lips have been on.
Here's something an
Yeah.
old squire like you could use, sir. A fussel. A fussel for calling your sheepdog.
Calling my what?
Sheepdog, sir. A regular charmer, sir.
It's a terrible sound.
You're him for miles around, sir.
Take it away and yourself with it.
How about some scent for the lady, sir?
That'll do. Be off about your business.
All right, sir. I ain't doing no harm.
They just don't like him because
You
he's
know,
poor.
that's what I hate about this moor. There's always something.
None of you guys noticed?
It's the guy.
It's what guy?
The guy from the very beginning.
That was Sherlock,
Out
wasn't
of
it?
glasses.
That was Sherlock.
Oh, it was Sherlock? Funny.
One of his many qualifications is he is a master of disguise.
Something strange.
Look, he's limping on the other foot now.
He's a master of disguise. Master.
Oops.
Barrowman,
Yes, sir.
who delivered this note?
No one, sir. I found it slipped under the front door.
Thank you.
Yeah, I knew she was fucking shady.
Oh, Barrowman, is Sir Henry at home?
No, sir. He's gone across the moor.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed him. Did Dr. Watson go with him?
No, sir.
Oh, thank you, Barrowman.
I'll tell Sir Henry you called, sir.
Yes, do.
Suspicious.
I bet.
This is a way less creepy telescope. I'm happy about it.
Yeah. That one doesn't have a mouth.
It didn't have the sex doll mouth.
No.
Though with eyes like that, I bet he wishes it does sometimes.
You just sit there with your secret sex lips.
Your secret sex
That's the name of our band.
Secret sex lips.
Secret Sex Lips.
You heard it here first.
I'm not even kidding. That's amazing.
Secret sex lips.
I like how he just casually carries his gun right there.
Better than down his waistband.
Yeah, nothing like blowing your
For
dick
some.
off.
He'd probably survive that better than where it was pointed earlier.
But would it be a life worth living?
Back then, no.
Yeah. You go to work or you fuck. Pretty much your free time. Or you drink with the boys. Roman, talk to her.
I don't know if even Roman could have a cure for that.
Now you can tell us, Sherlock, that fucking nose.
Yeah, that dick nose.
Was it you who sent me that communication?
I did, sir.
Out with it. Whatever it is you want me to hear.
I only want you to hear this zither, sir.
Zither?
He don't come no finer, sir.
What blasted impertinence.
Well,
Getting me
pause
out
it.
here to say... Look here, my man.
Was that stairway?
You're up to something.
I only ask you to try him, sir.
Be careful. This thing's loaded. Who are you?
And I've
Well,
never
I
had
might
that.
ask the same of you, sir. Prowling around the moor, spying out on everybody.
That's my business. To spy.
Oh, what is it?
Yes, and if you want to know who I am, I'll tell you.
Who are ye?
I'm Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes, the detective?
Yes, and now perhaps you realize why I can't be hoodwinked.
Oh, sir, that changes everything.
Now, who are you? Quick!
Well, in that case, sir,
My name must be Watson.
Holmes!
How are you, my dear fellow? A fine detective you are, calling yourself Sherlock Holmes.
So you've been down here on the moor all the time? That's a fine way to treat me, I must say. Send me down here. Let me think that you were in London, working on that blackmail case. Let me sit up half the night, writing those blasted reports.
Serious reports, my dear Watson, and very valuable they were, too. I made arrangements to have them forwarded on to me.
A shabby trick, which I'll not forget.
Ah, but a very necessary trick. If I'd come down here with you and Sir Henry, every movement of mine would have been watched. While in this way, only you and Sir Henry have been watched, and I've been free to work.
That's all very well, but making a fool of me...
Sit down, Watson. Do sit down. Perhaps a little supper will help you to get over your huff.
Huff? I'm in no huff.
Here, try some of these sardines. It's a pity I didn't know you were coming. I'd have provided a brace of pheasant.
It's a pity you didn't think of bringing down that infernal violin of yours to regale me with some of your enchanting music.
I did, my dear Watson. Anything to oblige. Well, if
Shout
you've
out
had
to
enough
Holmes
to
for
eat,
always
Watson,
being
and you're
prepared.
feeling in better spirits, I think we'd better be getting along.
Getting along where, if I'm not prying?
I'm returning with you to Baskerville Hall. There are still some gaps to be filled in, but all in all, things are becoming a little clearer.
Not to me, I assure you. Still a hopeless jumble. Mr. Franklin, Dr. Mortimer, the Barrowmans, put it all together, and what have you got?
Murder, my dear Watson. Refined,
Murder.
cold-blooded murder.
Murder?
There we
There's
go.
no doubt about it
sharing
in my
same
mind.
brain cell again.
I know,
Or
I
perhaps
love
I
it.
should say in my
It is.
imagination. For that's where crimes are conceived and where they're solved. In the imagination.
Remington. No.
But there's been no murder. Unless you mean Sir Charles. And the facts clearly indicated that he died from heart failure.
That's why so many murders remain unsolved, Watson. People will stick to facts, even though they prove nothing. Now, if we go beyond facts, use our imagination as the criminal does. Imagine what might have happened and act upon it, as I've been trying to do in this case. We usually find ourselves justified.
Then you know?
Another day, two at the most, and I will know. My one fear is that the murderer will strike before we're ready. In that case...
What's that?
Where's it coming from?
There.
No, there.
It's just a dog.
The hound. Come on, Watson, quick.
My dog howled at the same time. Oh, hi. Hi, thank you.
Must have run along that ridge and fallen over the cliff. He's dead.
No, it was the woman
Skull
killed him.
crushed in.
The convict. Thank heaven.
What?
That's the man I shot at the night we arrived. The man Barrowman was signaling to. Who is it?
A Notting Hill murderer. He escaped from prison last month. Been hiding on the moor ever since.
The Notting Hill murderer?
Is this better?
Do you mean that he is responsible for all this?
Much better.
That remains to be seen.
Absolutely.
But he's wearing Sir Henry's clothes.
Yes, that
Way
accounts
to go,
for
Chris.
it.
Proud of
Accounts
you.
for what?
For the hound. These clothes were the cause of that poor devil's death.
Do you mean that the hound was after Sir Henry?
Yes, and mistook the convict for him because of the scent of the clothes.
I was prepared. I brought more
Do
snacks.
you remember that missing boot, Watson?
There you go.
Why do you suppose the brown one, the one that had never been worn, was so mysteriously replaced and the black one taken?
Why?
Because a boot that had never been worn wouldn't have had the scent of the owner, and the black one had.
But how does this convict come to be wearing Sir Henry's clothes?
Oh, well, that's simple enough.
Why, Dr. Watson. Somebody hurt? Who's this?
The convict who escaped from Princeton.
Oh, how terrible. I heard a cry. That's what brought me over here. What's your theory about it, Mr. Holmes?
You're quick at identification.
Oh, everybody knows you, sir. As a matter of fact, we've been expecting you down here. My name's Stapleton.
How'd you do?
You came in time to see a tragedy.
Yes, that's a most unpleasant remembrance for me to take back to London tomorrow.
Oh, must you go so soon? I've been looking forward to meeting you.
Yes, I'm afraid I must.
We were hoping, Mr. Holmes, that you may be able to shed some light on the occurrences that have puzzled us down here.
Yes, but an investigator needs something more than legends and rumors.
Oh, quite so.
Give me a hand, will you, Watson?
Yeah.
Better put this poor fellow in one of the huts till the morning.
Oh, let me give you a hand.
Oh, I think we can manage all right, thank you.
Where's Sir Henry Barrowman?
In the library, sir. Now, Barrowman, if your wife's still up, will you tell her Mr. Sherlock Holmes would like a word with her?
Sherlock Holmes?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
He just shit his pants.
Yeah.
Sir Henry.
Holmes! I'm glad to see you so well, Sir Henry.
Why didn't you tell me Mr. Holmes was coming?
Well, I was
he didn't know. We ran across each other in the village.
I am glad to see you. What is it, Barrowman?
Oh, I asked to see Mrs. Barrowman, if you don't mind, Sir Henry.
Of course not.
Come in, Mrs. Barrowman. I think you'd better sit down.
Thank you, sir. I prefer to stand.
I'm afraid I've some rather bad news for you.
What is it?
Well, it's going to be a bit of a shock.
Oh. They've caught him.
That's her son.
Your brother...
Brother.
No, the...
They'll hang him for sure.
No, Mrs. Barrowman. He's beyond the law now. He's in more merciful hands. We came upon the poor fellow as we were crossing the moor. He must have missed his footing and fallen over the cliff. No further need, Barrowman, to signal to him from the window or take food out to him or give him Sir Henry's discarded clothes.
Oh, Sir Henry. It was all my doing. Barrowman here wanted to tell you all along so as you could notify the police. But he was my kin, my old kin. Even though he wasn't never any good.
We understand.
Fire the shit out of her.
You won't hold it against Barrowman, will you, sir?
Of course not. Now take her along and see that she's all right.
Thank you, sir.
That should be great in the unemployment line.
Yeah, she's a woman in the
Nice to get that in,
1800s.
Theodore, for their sake as well as mine.
That clears up everything, I think, Sir Henry. That poor devil must have been completely demented.
And that accounts for those dreadful noises that we've been hearing from time to time.
Exactly. Your troubles are over, Sir Henry.
I really am most grateful, Mr.
No,
Holmes.
not at all. I've done little enough. But you can sleep peacefully in
They're
your bed
not
now
over.
and commence to lead the life of a happy country squire.
Well, not for a little bit, I'm afraid. I'm off to Canada again.
Canada?
Beryl, Miss Stapleton, and I are going to be married.
Miss Stapleton?
A very charming young lady. Congratulations.
Everything's arranged. Her brother's giving us a farewell party tomorrow night. We'll be married in London the following day, and then off for a honeymoon to Canada.
My congratulations too, Sir Henry.
Thanks. What luck you're here. You and Dr. Watson will be with us tomorrow night.
No, I'm sorry. I'm afraid I can't. I must hurry back to London. And so should you too, Watson. We'll have to report to the police here about that convict in the morning, but there's a train leaving early in the afternoon.
Oh, what a pity. Beryl will be dreadfully disappointed.
Now, we'll remedy that when you come up to London. You must dine with us before you sail.
Well, there's the old boy himself, Sir Hugo. Hugo, the beast of the Baskervilles.
Not a bad bit of brushwork. By Ransom, one of the minor painters.
Oh, I don't imagine it's very valuable.
I can't quite agree with you, Sir Henry. One day it might prove to be of the greatest value. Well, we must be
Especially
going.
since the eye holes are cut out and there's real eyes behind them.
There's still one or two little points, Holmes, and I can't for the life of me reconcile with your theory about that poor demented convict.
One or two little points?
But surely you can't mean that he was in London 3 weeks ago? Sent that letter? Stole that boot?
Of course not.
And who the devil did?
The same person who was responsible for the death of that convict last night and will try again to murder Sir Henry tonight.
Tonight?
Unless my imagination has run away with itself, and I don't think that it has.
Then why are we rushing up to London? Leaving Sir Henry entirely unprotected?
We're not, my dear Watson. We're just giving the impression of rushing up to London. In a minute and a half, we'll be in Oakhampton. There, we'll catch a train back to Dartmoor. If my surmise is correct, we'll nab our man in the act.
But if you know who it is, why all this roundabout rigmarole? Why don't you have him arrested?
Because I've no case. Not a shred of evidence that would hold in any court. The only way is to catch him red-handed, to catch him in such a way that there's no escape, no alibi. That means gambling with Sir Henry's life.
But you can't
Gambling to save his life. But we've got to take that chance. Otherwise, the shadow of sudden death will be forever hanging over his head, and sooner or later... Here we are, Oakhampton.
And may you both spend the rest of your years together in happy contentment.
Thank you. And now I want to thank you all for the kindness that you've shown a stranger. And when Beryl and I return, I want you to know that you'll always be welcome at Baskerville Hall.
Thank you. Thank you, Sir Henry.
It's going to be lonely for you, Mr. Stapleton, with Beryl gone.
Yes, indeed it will,
Hey,
Mrs.
Beryl,
Mortimer.
by the way.
I shall be more dependent than ever upon you, my neighbors.
Don't count upon me, sir. In my opinion, you're a body snatcher. And until the courts have decreed otherwise, I want nothing whatsoever to do with you.
Oh, Mr. Franklin.
No, crazy.
The crazy old man has been right all along.
I say, driver, can't we go a little faster?
I'm doing the best I can, sir.
You idiot! We said go faster, not break our necks.
How far is it to Baskerville Hall?
It's 5 miles by road, sir, but if you want to cut over the moor, it's only about 3.
Here you are. Come on, Watson, quick.
Thank you, sir.
Take the horses. Well,
It's been a wonderful evening, Stapleton.
Well, glad you could be with us, Mortimer.
Thanks.
Take this brooch, my dear, and wear it on your wedding dress. It belonged to my great-grandmother. Something old, something new. You know.
Oh, that's so sweet of you, Mrs. Mortimer. Thank you so much.
And come back to us soon, both of you.
We will.
May I offer you a lift, my lad?
It's such a beautiful night, Mr. Franklin. I think I'll walk, thank you.
Merely a gesture of hospitality. Reject it if you like. Get up there!
You're not going to cross the moor alone, Sir Henry.
Why not? There's nothing to fear anymore.
We can't be sure.
Oh, but I have Mr. Sherlock Holmes' own word for it.
Come along, James. Good night, Sir Henry.
Good night, Mrs. Mortimer.
And the best of luck to you both.
Thank you.
My light is possessed, so that's good news.
Good night.
What's fun?
I wish you'd let Mr. Franklin drive you home.
I wanted to stay and say good night to you. This is our last good night. From tomorrow on, there won't be any more, ever.
Tomorrow we'll be away from this place.
I wish it were now.
So do I.
Oh, now, don't be silly. Good night, Beryl.
Good night, dear.
Her name is really Beryl?
Brother's the killer.
Because he's in love with her.
Well, was it a nice
They're
party?
absolutely wonderful. Everything, and most of all you. Jack, I haven't said very much about going away, but you know how I feel.
Yes, of course. It had to be.
Well, you won't be too dreadfully lonely, will you?
Well, I shall have my work and...
Henry and I'll be back before you even know it.
Yes, of course you will. Well, you better go to bed now. You've got a big day ahead of you tomorrow.
Good night, Jack.
Good night, dear.
But he's 100% in love with her.
100%.
Mm-hmm. She is only a stepsister
What?
after all.
Stepsister.
What are you doing?
Yep, called it. Listen, if the OJ trial taught us anything.
Love don't fit unless to quit.
There's the boot.
There's the boot.
Bam, Sherlock. Let the poor dog out, man.
Right?
Putting it in a crypt?
That is rude.
No wonder.
No
It's
wonder.
tough. Look at what a cute dog it is.
Jesus Christ.
That's horrible.
That is horrible.
That makes me sad.
Hope they fucking killed that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Over there. We'll head him off.
Oh no, this dumb bitch. You really gonna run out there, huh?
Jack! Don't open the door. Oh, yeah. He's not there, bitch.
Where are you?
Mm. Murdering your soon-to-be husband. Duh.
Because that dog looks like he's running with intent.
100% though, that dog would have found the boot seconds after. Yeah, like, he didn't get rid of it, he threw it. The dog would have already had the boot.
Mm-hmm.
They may explain it. If they don't, I will explain more about the dog if they don't cover how it is in the book.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, so this is based off the book?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
What was that? Hear that dastardly pooch? Also after effect growling. That dog ain't snarling like that while running.
No. Oh no, his hat.
That might have saved his life. Lay down, lay down.
Shoot the dog.
No!
Just give him a big hug. All he wants is a hug. Come on.
That's 100% what that dog wants.
Scratch right inside his ear. Makes him well. They shoot the dog, I'm gonna be pissed.
Sorry. You're about to be real mad.
No, they shot him. Shoot that mother.
Right?
There you go.
Give him a little whiskey. That clears everything up.
He's coming to.
You'll be all right, old man.
Watson.
Yes, soldier.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
What was it?
We've got to get him home quickly.
Can you manage him alone?
Yes.
Because I've got things to do.
Help get his arm around my shoulder.
I'm a busy man. I can't take care of the injured man.
No.
I'm all right.
I don't want any blood on my coat.
The thought of it simply dreadful.
Also, how stupid are you to go towards it? Like, there's only so many times that you can show up immediately after a crime happens. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, don't be dumb. Is he carrying a small flashlight?
It's a gas lantern, but yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I don't think those existed.
Or I think they call them shrouded or hooded lanterns. But in essence, it's a flashlight.
Dumbass, he's leading you to where he wants you to be.
I'm gonna put him in the crypt. And lock his ass up.
The shoe.
It's on the other foot.
Haha, good show.
Very good. Not who I wanted locked in there.
He'll get out. He's Sherlock Holmes.
With that method, it's going to take him a while.
Mm-hmm.
I should take dedicated.
It's pretty painful, I know. But it won't take much longer.
Go on, it doesn't hurt.
Now, Mrs. Barrowman, some gauze, please.
I just heard the dreadful news. Thank heavens you're safe.
From who?
Ow!
Well, now we know for certain that this is no legend, no myth. There really is a hound.
Was a hound?
Yes, Mr. Holmes told me. I ran into him across the moor. He asked me to send you to him at once. It's a matter of great importance. He said he'd wait for you at the spot where the beast was killed.
I must finish here first. This poor boy's taken a terrific beating.
Well, I could carry on for you, Doctor. I'm a bit of a doctor myself, you know.
Do you think you could manage?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure I could. I think you
Watson,
really ought to go, Dr. Watson.
Dumb.
Mr. Holmes was
Son of a
most
bitch.
urgent.
Oh, really?
I shall need some hot water, Mrs. Barrowman. Oh, I want it boiling, please.
Yes, sir.
Why?
It must have been a terrifying experience, Sir Henry. Terrifying.
It was indeed.
Yes, I can see you're still weak from loss of blood.
I can't say I feel any too well.
Here, drink this, Sir Henry. You'll feel much stronger. I'll see to your other bandages after. Oh, it may taste a little bitter, but don't mind that.
Sir Henry.
No.
Well, feeling better?
Yes, thanks.
I say that's uncomfortably close to your eye, isn't it? Another one on this side? Huh? Well. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. That was clumsy of me.
It was only a bit of a tonic. Sir Henry's lost considerable blood.
Yes?
Henry! Henry!
I'm all right, darling.
Oh, no, you're not.
We heard those dreadful noises on the way home.
It's a mercy he's alive.
I owe you an apology, Sir Henry, for jeopardizing your life.
Jeopardizing? But you saved my life.
But there was no possible way for me to foretell the fog. And I must apologize, too, for deceiving you last night. When I told you that your troubles were over, I knew that they weren't. But if I hadn't cleared out, the crisis which came tonight would have been indefinitely postponed, with the shadow of death hanging over you. And over you, too, Miss Stapleton.
You knew this was going to happen?
How could you know?
The person who wanted to snuff out your life, Sir Henry, was the same one who plotted to kill your uncle. He wanted to get you both out of the way so that he could lay claim to this place, to the whole Baskerville estate. In tracing back his lineage, he discovered not only that he was the next of kin, but also learned of that old legend about the hound. So he brought the hound to life by the simple expedient of buying the most savage dog that he could find and hiding it here on the moor until he needed it. If he had succeeded tonight, the blame would have fallen on the legendary monster, and no possible suspicion would have been attached to him. A most ingenious device.
Indeed.
And I'm quite sure that he would have had no difficulty in proving his claim to Baskerville Hall and all that goes with it. The most amazing instance of a throwback that I've ever seen. And you can see for yourself.
Stapleton!
One move and I'll shoot.
Jack!
You two, stay where you are. You're under arrest, Stapleton. For the murder of Sir Charles Baskerville, the murder of a convict, and the attempted murder of Sir Henry.
You can't arrest me, Holmes. Now, one move from any of you and I'll blast you all to kingdom come.
You forgot about Watson.
So sorry, old boy. What's the matter, old man?
What's the matter? That's our man.
Stapleton, the murderer?
He won't get very far. I've posted constables on both the roads, and the only other way is across the Grimpen Mire. I'm so sorry, Miss Stapleton. I wish I could have spared you this. Well, that officially closes the case, Sir Henry. And a very interesting case for your annals, Watson. An ordinary
Indeed,
dog,
yes.
an ingenious criminal.
And a more ingenious detective. I owe you a tremendous debt of gratitude.
Oh, we all do, Sir Henry. Mr. Holmes, we've admired you in the past, as does every Englishman. Your record as our greatest detective is known throughout the world. But this, seeing how you work, knowing that there is in England such a man as you, gives us all a sense of safety and security. God bless you, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Dr. Mortimer. Thank you.
You still got weird
Now, if you
fucking
don't
crazy
mind, I had
eyes.
rather a strenuous day. I think I'll turn in. Of course. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. Holmes.
Good night.
No, his eyes are big as fuck.
Oh, Watson, the needle.
Coke bottle glass.
So the one thing that they didn't mention in the movie that they explicitly make clear in the book is that the man barely fed the dog, just enough to keep it alive. It was always hungry.
Yeah.
That's why it didn't stop at the boot.
Fair.
It wanted man flesh.
Oh yes, of course. Good show.
That's pretty good.
Heartbreaking. It
Like,
was. It was a good movie.
Exceptionally good.
For a
Yeah.
movie that came out in 1939, there was only one
Yeah,
spot of racism.
like- Right.
There's only a little bit of racism.
And it wasn't even really racism.
No, I mean it just.
They were
It's
referring
more-
to Neolithic man as a savage.
Yeah. It's just there's more PC terms to use now.
Yeah.
Right, but it's not like it was Like that is what
It's not
they
Santa and the
were.
Devil racism. Yeah.
Right,
That's my
right.
thing. That's my thing. Is that movie came out 20 years after this one, and that was so much worse.
100% Bruce.
Yeah.
No,
But no,
like all in all, it was a good fucking movie.
not only that,
Yeah.
but the biggest thing here with this series, originally the idea is to make fun of movies. We're always going to have a chance to see other movies that are good, that are
Right.
not like actual shit. And like, yeah, we pick at this one, but at the same time, it was actually really well done. The acting was really well, portrayed.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it seems like, I don't know, Dave, would you say they followed the book pretty closely?
Yeah, they followed the story from the book relatively closely, to my recollection. It's probably been 15 years or better since I read The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I've read all of the Sherlock Holmes books written by Doyle. The 7% solution is interesting because it illustrates Holmes's struggle with cocaine and heroin addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
Was it cocaine and heroin, or like an oil?
Or like what?
Or like
No,
an
heroin.
opioid. Yeah.
Heroin specifically. He used heroin to kick cocaine.
As one does.
Right.
Well,
Like
you know
you
what they
do.
say. It's the gateway quitter.
Yeah.
The gateway quitter.
D, Danger, thoughts, anyone?
I thought it was good overall. I mean, it was almost hard to make fun of. Like, the story arc was good. Like, once it got interesting, it got interesting.
Yeah.
And
The
it did so
acting was
fairly
good.
quickly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I can't really fault too much of it. I mean, the acting is on par for acting in, the 1930s and
Yeah.
40s.
Which was,
It was
like...
actually good.
Yeah. It
Well,
was,
there's some moments, but...
there is the sexism of, the female roles, or, oh, darling.
Well, but that's...
Like, fucking
you
man
have
up,
to understand
pussy.
that
Like,
even
that's
in...
what it should be.
Even in a modern telling of this story, if they're setting it in that period...
Right, it always has to be.
Right. No.
Yeah, it's set in the 1880s. It's always going to be a component. I mean, it's still, like I said, it's really good.
And
I was
and in that time, it
surprised.
wasn't sexism. That was just an appropriate way to address people.
Right.
There's...
Yeah.
But you understand what I'm saying.
They-
There's a
no, I-
difference
no, I
between
totally get it.
norms and how people are addressed.
Right.
And them being malicious or not. And for me, intent
No.
defines what is and is not sexism.
Right.
Fair.
I was super
think-
impressed by the set, too.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was all
yeah.
really, really well done.
To know that it was all, I mean, there is no green screens and, CG stuff and...
Oh yeah, no, it's all practical effects. And
Right.
while there
Yeah.
weren't really effects, they made huge set pieces for this, because I guarantee you they made all of those big
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
rocks.
very much so.
They had to have made those. There's no way they didn't.
And I mean,
how
some
to
of it
train
was
a
probably
hound.
filmed on location in Scotland and whatnot, but
Yeah.
But yeah, no, overall, I thought it was good. It's hard to make fun of it.
Yeah.
If you guys want to see more Sherlock Holmes, make sure to let us know, because I think there are like 14 more classic movies that are public domain.
Yep.
We also have Captain America and Captain Marvel, aka Shazam, before his name was changed to Shazam.
And then before
that we
Captain
can
Marvel
watch.
became Captain Marvel.
Or if you know of something else in public domain that is
Yeah.
shitty and we can just, like, make fun of for 2 hours.
But with less racism than Santa Claus versus the
Yeah,
Devil.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, yeah.
We got like 15 minutes into that.
We got 15 minutes into that shit show, and we were like,
And that was longer than this one.
it's fun
Like,
to make fun
how?
of, but like, we can't show this. This is just
No.
bad.
Right. And
Also- Also, let us know. Let us know if you guys want to see D and Danger have their own day.
Or
on
if
the
you
show.
don't, like, let us know that too.
Called Double
Yeah.
D's. No big
Double
deal.
Ds. That would be spectacular. Be like Seinfeld. What's your show about? Nothing.
Yeah, it's a show about nothing. Where we share one brain cell and talk about nothing. I'm sure.
That's literally our fucking show, and you assholes are here. So
What genre of music does Secret Sex Lips play? The kind where there are sounds. What does that mean? It means yes. Well, what does that mean? It means you ask too many fucking questions.
Shut up.
Next
and
question.
That's why I don't have kids. Too many questions.
Boom. D gets
Yo, so my daughter will be 15 next month.
Good for you. That's about the age where I'm starting to be like, yeah, that's fine. Keep in mind, I coach like 7th and 8th grade girls lacrosse, so.
Oh God.
Because that's the only age that I can tolerate it.
Yeah, before their mouthy shits. Yeah.
My son.
No, I mean, they're still mouthy shits. I can just tell them to fuck off now. I mean, I don't actually use that phrase. Let me clarify.
You should sometime. They might have more respect for you.
Yeah.
One of my favorite teachers in high school. I took tech theater with him for 3 years. My 4th year, I actually taught the class. Hello?
Hello?
So I could see you guys' mouths moving, but I couldn't hear anything you were saying.
Oh.
But we
weren't really talking.
Oh, I can see your lips moving, but I cannot hear any word.
But on that note, it's time to end. Thank you guys for watching.